Biome.
Not bad at all.
Loathsomeness waits and breathes in the deep. An decay spreads over the tottering cities of men.
Hello.
I'm your host, Matt.
I'm Anthony.
And I'm Raymond.
Today we're going to be talking about a few topics. Worlds is over, as we all know, but there's a lot of off-season discussions to be had. The main season for League of Legends is over. Preseason has begun with a bunch of new cool things they've done, but we're going to start off preseason. I think Tran's going to kick it off from there.
Yeah, to start off, we're going to talk about off-season rumors. Some of the big news that's been happening this week. First, we will... well, the big recent news I want to talk about is the Perks leaving G2 news. We'll talk about the TSM news a little bit later. But yeah, so it's confirmed that Perks is leaving G2. It's not hard confirmed yet where he's landing, but it's looking like he's going to land at Cloud9.
Hey.
Yeah, pretty crazy. Pretty big signing for Cloud9. I'm honestly kind of surprised that TSM couldn't pick him up. I don't know what happened there. I don't know if it was like his buyout was like too high or they just want to funnel the money in there.
Why is Perks leaving G2 in the first place?
He wants to play mid lane.
Yeah, he's playing AD. He role swapped from mid to AD for to get Caps on his team, he was on Fnatic. Caps is like the best like Western mid laner, and pretty much everyone agrees on. He's an insane player, and so and I guess Perks wants to go back to mid lane now, and he doesn't want to have Caps swap to AD because they already tried that, and I guess it didn't work or whatever. They seem still pretty good.
Yeah.
So
Really well.
They did that for one split.
For one
right?
split, I still think they won the split.
Yeah,
too,
they won the
so, like,
split, but I don't know.
maybe Caps just doesn't want to play AD, and so yeah, so he's in mid lane, and then yeah, so Perks wants to play mid again, and so to do that, he decided to leave. I'm kind of surprised that not a European team picked him up. Also surprised that not I figure a Worlds LCS team would have picked him up. Like the whole him going to C9. C9 did do really good until they just flopped and then it didn't make Worlds. But I mean, it's pretty insane signing for C9. They're gonna have I'm sure all their fans are super excited for
They're
it.
going to have a strong roster now.
Who's their current mid laner? On
Niski.
C9?
Which with that news, actually, it's going with that. It was actually confirmed that verbally confirmed, I think, because this is all precursors because free agency doesn't start till the Tuesday, this upcoming Tuesday. So everything that's that you've been hearing about is mainly just rumors, or some are pretty much hard confirmed. They just can't officially announce it yet until Riot, until it goes into the free agency period.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of these things are pretty much confirmed. What was I saying? I was saying, Niski seems like he's heading to Fnatic to replace Nemesis, which is
Interesting.
which is pretty wild to me. Okay, so we're gonna talk about Niski a little bit here because I mean Niski is good, but he never had the super pop off moments to me. I kind of expect Fnatic mid laners to be, but I guess it's more of how their playstyle is because they have a carry jungler and self made now, and I think they're trying to have a more supportive / roamy mid laner so that the other lanes can thrive, because you can't have all 5 lanes be carry lanes because someone needs to sacrifice resources somewhere.
That makes sense. A lot of big moves are happening right now, especially in the off season. Kind of crazy. Some teams wasn't expecting it, like for G2 to kind of change up what they got going on, considering they were really good.
Contenders.
Yeah.
Well, they've had the same roster for
Yeah.
I think almost 2 years now, something like that.
But
But they've won they won MSI last year, right?
Yeah, they won MSI. They hit finals last year, and
I
then
mean,
Seems-
hopefully it's like it works out for them. But
yeah,
Seems
I
like
think
a-
I think it's mostly just Perks wants to.
do his own thing, even though
Yeah,
wants to do
that's
mid
what I
now.
think.
sacrificing. Maybe he's coming to NA because he knows he can win here.
I mean, like, so like it's been like a history of bad imports for NA. Isn't like we get some imports and like they're supposed to be superstar contenders and like they come over and they like, end up flopping. It's like a lot of things have been going down. Like Yellow Star from Fnatic a long time ago to TSM. Sven and Mithy, who came from G2,
Mhm.
who was like an insane bot lane duo, came to TSM and ended up flopping super hard. Another one's
I think it's a coaching thing for TSM when that kind of thing happens, and maybe with
well, it's not. I mean, it's not just that because like Febiven has came over here and done the same thing. I know there's some. There's gotta be other ones I just can't remember off the top of my head. Obviously, the ones that impact TSM, I probably remember more. But
Impact came over. I mean,
yeah, and they
Core JJ.
even like yeah. So like Core JJ's
He's
a good
good.
example for having a good
Yeah.
import. Like there's been other Korean imports that just can't mesh well because like language barrier or something like that. But
that makes sense too.
Yeah.
Another,
Yeah.
I think something I really want to talk about is before we get into like the big hitter teams is like 100 Thieves is like changing their entire roster except for Someday. Every
Yeah,
single
the-
person
Yeah.
being swapped, and I mean, kind of makes sense. 100 Thieves isn't super strong right now, or they weren't last year, so having them change everything out is kind of crazy, but maybe good. And apparently, what I was reading is that like they're gonna be quite strong if these rumors are true. Rumors being Someday staying, Closer's coming in, Tommy, FBI, and Huhi. And Huhi's always
Who is?
good, really good. So
yeah. So they
100
basically
Thieves-
took Golden Guardians without the mid laner.
Yeah.
Shoved the 100 Thieves with Someday. Somebody's insane. Who's Golden Guardians top laner? It was Haunter. And Haunter is like okay, but like you never.
Wasn't he the top laner for TSM?
Yeah, for
While
like,
back.
in 2016,
Yeah.
2016. That was his prime for sure. He was definitely very good back
Hunter
then.
was pretty decent.
Nowadays, what's it called? Someday it plays more like you can put resources into Someday and like believe that he's gonna carry the game. I guess
Yeah.
that maybe you can't do that same thing with Haunter. Maybe that's why. Yeah, but that's also kind of weird. Okay, so 100 Thieves, they're basically rebuilding from the ground up.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
But I don't know, they kind of did that last year. And like, it didn't go
work
well.
out.
So like, yeah, them rebuilding and like the roster seems like it would be good.
So the rebuild. and the
Bro,
rebuild.
it's like the Philadelphia 76ers, man. You got trust in the process, and someday is their Joel Embiid right now, and they're just doing whatever the fuck they want.
I mean,
guess we'll see how it pans out. You know,
but they had Someday. Someday's been on 100 Thieves for so long. Last year he got because of some import stuff because he still takes some import slot. He had to be benched and so he's playing Academy and he was hard smurfing on Academy and just killing, like, murdering everyone. And so he didn't get to play in LCS like for a little bit. And so it's like I feel like it kind of sucks for him to be there because like he's like okay he's the main pillar for them now, but like he missed like a lot of last year and like the splits that were coming up last year. And so like I wonder if he like just wants to have a starting spot and like
Probably.
I just hope the new 100 Thieves roster goes good for him because he's been kind of shafted already.
Yeah.
I think he just wants a chance to prove himself, man.
I mean, well,
If you
'cause the thing
miss-
is, everyone knows he's good, right?
Yeah.
Everyone knows. No
Yeah.
one ever says Someday is bad. Everyone, like even TSM would be looking for him as top laner for to fill in some of the.
You know what's
Roster gaps
crazy
here.
is, I guess speaking of top laners from TSM, is that they're getting rid of Broken Blade.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the
Found that
Broken-
kind of surprising because I thought he was very strong.
I think it's the import thing, because
He's Turkish in Germany. He lives in Germany.
yeah, he's
So he
he's
takes up a
considered an
spot.
import, and so
Yeah.
so the problem is with the roster moves and Beerson moving out, and okay, some other big news is that PoE is going to TSM,
Mm-hmm.
and the PoE still takes up an import slot, and so make room for him since Beerson's out. Yeah, give up a slot.
How many
And
imports?
so-
Who's their other import?
Too.
You might have two.
Sven.
They got Spica, they got
Or-
Double Lift, and the
oh.
support is they're like it's rumored that the support might be Ignar, which also takes an import slot.
Yeah, we were kind of talking before that they're probably going to get rid of Battlefrost and just do his poor performance in Worlds. And that kind of makes sense that that's happening. Spica did really well, so I'm not too surprised that they're looking to keep him. So
Yeah, so like Spica, I'm excited about. He's fresh jungler, new talent. He's proven himself. He's good. You know, he's doing the thing. Double F, you know, he's there. I actually don't know how long he's gonna be playing the league for. I feel like
I think if he
on
doesn't do well
retirement
this year, it's going to get to it for him.
well, the problem he's won like 5 straight split. Well, other than the split that he took off, which was last year, the spring split, which we'll talk about. But yeah, other than that one split, he had one bad split with Liquid. He won pretty much the last like 3 years.
Yeah.
No, you're right. I think, but
Double Lift's
or,
like
maybe he'll be done with TSM, I should say.
I don't know, man.
I think I don't think if he leaves TSM, I think it's because he's gonna retire. I don't think TSM is gonna boot him. I don't think he's gonna leave TSM.
I don't
If
think
he's
he'd go
gonna-
to like a losing team or like a team that's
fair.
that doesn't
Because he
do very
left,
well.
he left Liquid with the only way he was leaving Liquid was to go with TSM. That was his thing.
Yeah.
And so he wants to be there. Battlefrost, yeah, understandably getting kicked out or getting moved out at least. It's
So Broken
Unfortunate.
Blade's gone because of the import slot, and then he's getting replaced to potentially Impact, which
it's between like Licorice Impact base right now because
Yeah,
the
Impact
resident
is,
top laners.
yeah, and Impact was the wasn't he was a top laner for Team Liquid, right?
Yeah,
was.
TL for.
So,
And they're getting Alfari, which is sort of taking up an import slot. So, they have to-
So wait, does Impact no longer take up?
no, he's a resident now.
He's
pretty sure.
resident. Okay.
Yeah, so I think because you play
2 years,
if you
right?
play it's like 2 years. You play in a region, you get residency. So
Broken Blade was close to residency then, wasn't he?
possibly.
Yeah, but
He
I mean,
played a full year of TSM. I think he was like,
but they need somebody now though.
No.
So
yeah, no, you're right.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, so it's between Licorice and Impact for TSM top lane.
Both strong top laners, but Impact.
I
think Impact is a better
Yeah, I agree.
top laner.
Impact has a good record. The only thing that scares me is that man, I feel bad saying this, but he's also been in the scene for a very long time. And Licorice is a newer person in the scene. I would rather probably have Licorice more because he can play a lot of different styles, right? Impact you can only see Impact really do well if he's playing weak side tank or GP, basically, right? And that's the only time he really pops off. And you never see him play like.
But he plays it really well though. Like
Yeah, then maybe that's what TSM's looking
Like-
for.
Well, I think Licorice can also play weak side off tank, but if they like need another strat, they can put resources into him and depend on him to carry like Broken Blade did. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I think Licorice might not be as good as Broken Blade with resources into him, like he can like soul sort, which is like kind of debatable. I think Licorice and Broken Blade are really close in that aspect, and it'd be possibly debatable that like, Impact is probably better than Licorice on weak side tanks.
yeah,
But the delta between both, like on the spectrum, I think he's good for both styles of play, and I think he would fit really well into the TSM playstyle. Because like if you have Impact, you are not playing through Impact. He's
I
weak
think-
side,
no.
you're playing through double lift.
Impact,
Yeah.
you just leave him alone and like
Yeah.
hope that he doesn't die.
And that's like kind of honestly kind of like a vulnerability, right? Because everyone knows that's what's happening.
But you can't like you can't. I feel like Impact is one of those players that you can't like really pick on. You know, like you have to put a lot of resources in order to kill Impact.
Yeah, it's not like he's like not like an important lane still. I mean, having that super strong weak side tank guy.
Oh no, yeah. I mean, you still have to
Good.
play really well. You have to be really good at playing weak side tanks. It's like
Yeah, so I don't know, maybe, and that might be what Jurgensen, now the coach, that's what he's looking for. Maybe he's looking for a super strong mid laner, potential bot lane with double lift still, and then
they could,
a nice,
like, yeah.
super strong tanky top laner the whole time, and that might be what we're going for. Because last season, they went with Broken Blade, who is kind of like a Licorice type, who could do your tank side, or he could go like Camille. And I mean,
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't like Broken Blade on tanks. It just didn't have the same effect.
Yeah, I agree. I'm saying what I'm saying is like maybe Now they're like, okay, that didn't really work out well for us. We're getting someone who may be similar to the Bjergsen type, super strong mid laner. We don't need a carry top laner. We need someone who can.
Well, okay, so you think about so if we're going to mid lane in support, so this mid lane support is PoE. Well, okay, it's supposedly going to be PoE Ignar combo. No one really knows about Ignar yet.
Yeah.
But it would make sense because PoE Ignar playing together. They've been playing together since they were on Misfits, and they like went to different teams and they reunited on FlyQuest and Smurf. They were really good.
Yeah.
Ignar's really good, and if Ignar fits into into TSM's playstyle, PoE is a control mage player. He doesn't play assassins really. He plays control scaling mage, which you would need either. So if you have impact with a control style mage, you are playing for late game. Playing for mid to late game. There's no
that seems
game.
like it's like a really slow game.
Yeah, you're trying to survive. You're basically Team Liquid, right?
Who are control style like mid lane champs?
Orianna, Azir, Victor, stuff like that.
Like Syndra, maybe.
Syndrome.
Yeah.
He plays
She's such a
Syndra,
burst.
but Syndra, I mean, is a burst mage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, still kind of controlling, but yeah. But I mean, that's just the way it is. And so if you have that, then like I said, you're basically Team Liquid, and you basically remove your identity from last split, which is kind of, I guess, would make sense maybe, since like Broken Blade might be out, but now you're like kind of pigeonholed into playing like like I said, team fight, scaling team fight, and
I'm curious to see
which
how
is not
Ignar
bad.
and Double
I just
work
think
together
Licorice.
too.
I just feel like Licorice could maybe give you a little different playstyle. The whole double thing, I'm kind of actually really excited for.
Yeah,
I think Ignor's really insane.
I think Double needs a good support.
Yeah.
No offense to Balfrost, but I think
Like
Double
when he had Core JJ on TL, that lane was
crashed.
pretty. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think if Ignar does really well with TSM, they all kind of, vibe together.
I followed Ignor for a while since he's been in Europe, and then now he's in NA. He's always been like, I think I've only seen him have like one like really terrible split where like I didn't really like his playstyle, but he's like a pretty much playmaker, and then he's going out there and looking to make plays for the team and like
I think that's what
setting stuff up.
I think that's what
Well,
Double
Balfrost
needs.
Balfrost I feel like didn't have that killer instinct to go in and make the play.
Yeah.
And I think Balfrost was like, I am a killer in Worlds. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna prove to the world I'm a killer. And then basically he got Double Lift killed. So still right, he's still a killer.
Just
Killed a lot of people.
yeah. Double Leaf. I think Double Lift needs some help.
Yeah, because that's what I kept watching in Worlds was like Balfrost trying to make these insane plays, and I'm like, bro, you just fed. Like, what are you doing? Like, stop it.
Yeah.
Just like sometimes I just kind of wanted to be like, after like a couple matches when he was trying to do those insane plays and they were just getting like worked. I was like, bro, just like chill, get some farm. Like sometimes it's one of those games where you're just like, obviously we're not good at being aggressive, so we gotta sit back and try to just farm. I really feel like he was like, no, I'm gonna prove it. I'm gonna do it. And whoop, 0-6, goose egg.
Listen, he committed, man. He committed. He
Hey,
committed. You gotta commit on something, man. You can't just. Yeah.
Right, man. Yeah, you don't pivot ever.
Well, okay, so looking at the team,
weakness when you pivot.
looking at the team between Licorice and Impact, I'd probably have it either one, and it's just different. It will really, I think it will really shape the definition of the team, how they play. Coming back from the old roster, Spica and Double Lift. Spica, I already said I really excited for. He's an insane player, young talent, non-import. Double Lift, veteran. He has a record of winning. The PoE and Ignar combo, I think, is really good because if they don't get PoE, I'm sure Ignar probably doesn't come over.
Yeah.
And so if they try to get someone else in the mid lane, say TSM picks up Perks, like who's gonna have who's gonna be the support?
Yeah,
right?
everything
So I think
I've read is PoE is coming over, and I will say to kind of hop on with you that it's not very confirmed. I think it's less confirmed that Impact's coming over than PoE. I mean, I think PoE is pretty much settled.
the top lane is definitely still in the air. No,
top lane's open.
It's
and
all
I think-
speculation.
Yeah, and for sure Battlefrost is gone. It just is Ignar or is going to be someone else. So I think we know, and I think we know who our mid lane's going to be for TSM. It's uncertain top and support.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Impact could also potentially go to Evil Geniuses. So it's just there's things kind of open in the air, and kind of like what you were saying, Tran. I mean, maybe TSM's like, well, we don't want someone who can only play,
Bruisers.
Yeah.
bruisers. We want someone who can do multiple things. So, we'll just kind of have to wait and see. It's gonna be pretty interesting. We got a long preseason ahead of us before we start seeing these cool moves. But I'm sure we'll figure out more things settled within the next month.
So you guys have any
On Tuesday.
you
'cause
guys
that's
you guys have any predictions
Tuesday?
for next season on terms of like who's gonna be top teams just based off of rumors right now?
I think Cloud9.
I think Cloud9 would
And-
definitely be up there.
I'm
TL.
gonna put Cloud. Well, definitely. I think Cloud9 TL always are gonna be up there.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna vote for my boys TSM. I'm actually excited to see what Bjergsen can do as a coach and with the roster changes. And I'm gonna put a little bit of little speculation dust on 100 Thieves.
I actually think TSM is going to struggle for a good bit, just because I think Bjerg just needs some time to adjust to coaching,
I
and
think Bjerg was probably the coach behind the scenes anyways, and I think that was probably what TSM was struggling with, was that he couldn't do both.
yeah, but it's also a new team with new players, so I think it just takes a little bit to like understand.
I'm
Like,
not saying they're going to go and win worlds, but or
Yeah.
even MSI, but I think they're still going to be contenders for sure. I mean, they're.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I was done.
I will talk about my initial thoughts of the season, how they're gonna go. But I just want to make a shout out to talk about FlyQuest, and they came up second in both splits last year, and they axed their entire roster basically.
huh?
No one's coming back.
They actually
Basically, well, if the rumors are true that Santorin's going to Team Liquid, yeah, like their whole entire roster is basically like up in the air. No one knows what's going to be, which is like so weird to me. As like you had such good success, letting go of PoE Vignar, letting go of Santorin, Solo was like whatever.
It has to be
That's-
something else behind the scenes that we don't know.
So
Yeah.
so it's Wild Turtle and Solo are there that we know of. We don't know if they left yet, but like building your roster around those two, like they're good, but they're not like stars, right?
Yeah.
No.
No.
I
Why?
can understand. Yeah, I would at least kept Santorin. I don't know why you would let go of Santorin. He's an insane jungler. I don't know why. Especially leave him to Team Liquid. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, so that's gonna be pretty insane. So it's gonna be pretty interesting to see what's gonna happen. You know who else I'm pretty excited for too is Dignitas.
I mean,
if he does come back, I think that'll be interesting. Do I think they're gonna do great? No. But it's
to
gonna
see
be fun
Sneaky
again.
come back, yeah.
I wonder if
that'd be
FlyQuest ran out of money.
Yeah, I think the FlyQuest thing is there's something behind the scenes that we
Yeah.
don't fully understand.
That's
It doesn't
just-
make any sense. It'd be like
Yeah, I
that
mean,
the
that's
Lakers
wild.
right now,
And just
or
like,
for the Clippers, just like got rid of everyone.
yeah, no, they kept Danny Green and Rondo, and then got rid of everybody. And you're like,
Yeah, it make no sense. So I think that's there's something going on with FlyQuest. It could be money. It could be just big disagreements between the coaching staff and the players.
yeah, but
It really could just be something simple as like these other teams came out and were like, "Yo, we're gonna give you the glass," and they're like,
Yeah.
we're down.
yeah, that's true.
How do you guys feel about? Sorry, how do you guys feel about Broxa? So Broxa came to Team Liquid over Spring Split last year. He had a little bit of trouble getting into. He had visa issues, and Team Liquid had a pretty terrible Spring Split. Summer Split, they came back and got third place, and they're doing okay. But with the rumors, it seems that Team Liquid needs the resident jungler, which is supposedly Santorin. So that means Broxa's got to get the boot.
Yeah,
And it looks like, I guess rumors are he's going to CLG, which hasn't been doing very well for a few years.
Oh, I miss the CLG TSM like super like
the rivalry.
It's like,
It's-
is there a rivalry if you lose every game? Like,
yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's
no.
changed to more like Team Liquid TSM now. That kind of rivalry.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always
like, well, C9
all of
did.
NA has rivalries. Obviously, every team wants to beat each other, but CLG TSM had like history. It was very fun to see that kind of go back and forth sometimes. But as of late, it's been more like I'm not even excited when I see CLG versus TSM because I'm like, TSM's gonna win.
It's a murder.
But then I'm actually very excited whenever I see TL versus TSM
Yeah.
or even Cloud9. But I think TL is the new like.
Isn't it weird that Doublelift is involved in all of these rivalries?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Anyway, I think it's kind of
We're all
weird that
fighting
they.
for the same chick.
Okay.
I think it's kind
Yikes.
of weird that Broxy got the boot already. I mean, his his play wasn't like super spectacular. I guess like I didn't like super impress me, but like he made finals in Worlds, so he's got to be
Yeah, but
decent.
if you know, like, you have like a guy who's like better.
So I mean, yeah,
who's better.
they basically traded Broxy for Alfari, right?
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you have a guy who's known to be better and like
Yeah,
you trade the guy, dude.
yeah. I mean, he's. I mean,
we going for these W's.
Yeah,
We
dude.
don't-
the community
we don't care about your
really likes
feelings.
the community really likes Broxy, and they probably feel bad for him. But I
It's
kinda
team
understand.
liquid, not team losing, bro. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Right.
team throw money at whoever you want.
Team
I guess.
team liquidated money, bro.
They the Yankees, bro. So no, I mean it's exciting. Do we have any other off-season rumors we want to talk about?
Like I said, the really big ones I really want to get into was Perks leaving G2, which is still insane to me, and then the TSM or some
That's-
limits.
I agree, but Cloud9 might be insane.
That's
Team
crazy.
Liquid stacked.
Do you
Okay, well-
do you guys stay on a team for winning, or do you go and play a lane you want
So
to play?
okay,
in?
well, one thing I would do is if you're playing a lot, I mean, you gotta play this video game a lot. I feel like you want to do something that at least is fun for you.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, if you're really not enjoying your role, and that's what you're playing fucking 8 to 10 hours every single day, and you're just not happy, I mean, you're probably not gonna play as well as you would if you were to play a role that you actually enjoy. That being said, it depends where your priorities are. If you're just trying to get those rings, baby, or that cup, I mean, I would stick with G2.
Yeah.
So
I
it
kinda-
depends how unhappy he really was, you know?
Yeah.
I kind of just think the honeymoon phase is over with G2. Like everyone was happy to sacrifice like what they did. Perks was happy to be in bot lane to like have caps on the team. They did the thing for 2 years and they were like fucking smurfing on everyone up until like Worlds finals.
Yeah.
But I think maybe they're what they get to? They got to semis this year,
Mhm.
which is still really good. But they're probably looking for more, and they didn't get there. And so like
They're just like, all right.
I think people are just looking for change. It's probably just not just Perks either. It's probably
I
everyone else
mean,
on the team too.
yeah, but G2 did good. Like you said, they got the semifinals. I mean, that's
I know,
like,
but so like, well, I mean,
that just seems nuts. I guess
World,
I don't think it's
World
priority
Championship
winning.
teams change rosters all the time,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and I wonder how much
You-
money
they
he
never-
got from Cloud9.
His buyout's like $5 million.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it's-
that's another thing too.
That's
If you're-
before they pay his salary.
That's the thing too. Is if your career is gaming, you can't do it forever. People are gonna like not give a shit about you anymore. It's a lot faster than like athletic sports or
Yeah.
having like a career or anything
The
else.
only problem with that is if he comes to NA and he shits the bed, his fucking reputation's fucked.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
then he got that 5 mil and he good.
Well, because like, okay, so you stay in G2, so you stay in G2 and you still perform well, you probably make more money eventually.
Yeah.
Right now, and if you go to NA, you make money right now, but if you flop, your reputation.
That's the thing. If he's switching
Probably not
roles
gonna
to
go
mid and he sucks at mid, it's like, ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you get
Then,
cut
yeah.
from the team mid-season. You're like, oh shit.
Oh well, shit.
Yeah. G2, yo.
It's pretty interesting. So, only time will tell, I guess. You know, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just excited to see what happens. And I mean, I thought the last season was pretty exciting. I think now with all these rumors and
I think next week
Yeah.
once free agency hits and we get some confirmed stuff, it'll be really spicy.
Some spicy rosters.
Because people are still like on the still keeping stuff hidden. They don't want to
Yeah.
tell.
Yeah.
everyone, so.
no, yeah. So, all right, well, cool. Let's go to the next topic. I think we're gonna talk about preseason now. New league items, season 11 coming up.
Oh god.
What are your guys' thoughts on everything that's kind of going on with league?
Everything's fucking OP.
I mean, I think I like the new shop layout. But it's so confusing, man. I don't know.
I do. Okay, so I do like the items.
Yeah.
The new items that they have and like the whole like legendary mythic. You only get one mythic. You can get whatever legendaries. And,
Yeah, I learned that the hard way.
Your mythic items buff your legendary items by a certain amount. Depending on which.
Yeah, I had no idea. I just kind of like, because you were like, just hop in there and do it, man. Learn that way. And I was like, all right. Walked in, bought a mythic item. I was playing Fizz. I bought the Hex Tech pole belt, the belt thingy that shoots you forward a little bit.
Gale Force?
I was like, all right. Huh?
Is that Gale Force?
No, it's still called like the belt. Anyways, I bought that. That's like the mythic item. And then I was like, oh, what is I think I blitzed. I was like, what does it say to build? And there's like some like axe life thing. I don't know. So it's also another mythic item, but I know that. So I built
So,
everything
yeah.
up to that, and then I'm at the shop, and I'm like, all right, I have.
Now let
like,
me build.
Can't buy this.
And it won't let me buy. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And I'm like, hold on. And I'm looking. I'm like, these are mythic items. I'm like, okay, does that matter? I was kind of looking more into it. I'm like sitting at the shop for like 5 minutes, and I'm like,
And then he yells
I
at
can
you.
only have one mythic item.
Yep.
I'm like,
Yep.
Jesus fucking damn.
With how the shop's set up now, I don't know how they could fix that problem with because if you don't know, I mean, you
Yeah.
don't know. I think
I think you just learn the hard
I-
way.
you have to read every
I
description.
mean,
I
you
think,
could just
in order
put right after mythic one item per person. You know, like some disclaimer.
Yeah,
But
that's what they should have done. Another thing too is Tran. And I played a support game today, so to Tran, and when you buy your support item, it makes you feel like you're supposed to buy the next piece. So you're sitting at the shop and you're like $800. Well, I got $800, and then you're like, it's not buying, and then you like have to read it, and your ADC is probably like, hey, bro, what are you doing?
dying.
Like, buy your pot to get back, and you're like, I'm trying to figure out how to buy my next thing. You can't. So
yeah, it upgrades on my. Well, I think so. I mean, obviously that's a problem when you first play and you don't know.
Yeah.
And you don't,
That
I
too.
guess
it's
once you get to that, you're like, oh shit.
Honestly,
yeah, you
Yeah.
know. I think if they fleshed it out a little bit, like don't even make it an option to buy it at all.
Yeah, just like make it auto upgrade. Well,
yeah.
then well, people can't see what the upgrade option is. I know
think
there's a problem
see
there.
what the upgrade option is. Just like don't have the buy thing, I guess, or just you can't buy this. Something kind of more clear.
Yeah. Exit out or
and
something.
Who knows? I think it's gonna be fleshed out a teeny bit more, and maybe I'm just being a baby about it because like now since I know I'll never do it again, so I'll maybe never pay attention again. But
Yeah.
Well, I think
don't
the
know.
problem is that a lot of their items have like the same color scheme.
Yeah,
It's so
just
hard. It's so hard to find. Like if you're gonna have color schemes, like cool, but make the color schemes like means
Very
like, green,
different, yeah.
means like healing or support items or like stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the color they mix color schemes with all the items. So like green could be like a tank item or a healer item or an assassin item or something. It's like
Yeah.
initially when you first look at the items, it's kind of hard to tell which ones. Maybe it's just because we don't know what the items are yet. But like
yeah, I think
feel
the
like
color
that's a
scheme is not
problem in
like
general.
this is supposed to be tanky or healy. I think they're like, ooh, this should be green.
I think they
Yeah,
should
Like,
have
why do you think so? They're like, I like this, my favorite color. And I developed
green
this
flames. You know, chipmunk chase all right, green.
item. But I think the new items are pretty exciting. I mean, just looking at did a couple things with mid lane, and that's been fun. A lot more damage. It's cool to have like the little thing they showcase, like Jinx having like dashes and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be a little bit more wild, and I think it's gonna be fun to see the added like which mythic item am I buying this game. I think for more in like our standards, we're probably just gonna pick whatever is the strongest. But in the like LCS and stuff like that, it's gonna be more of like, ooh, I need this for mobility, I need this, I need that. You'll be a little bit more selective, and it'll be cool to see how like the pros.
Yeah.
can handle
It'll.
Let's see.
Sorry. Go ahead, Tran.
No, you're good.
Yeah, it's that's what I was gonna say. Is it's definitely gonna be interesting to see like all these different builds that the like pros come up with and how they like play out. And then I don't know. Like for me, I don't play like a lot of League, so some of these items like I didn't know just in the beginning, but I don't know. They're very different than older items, you know.
But I think it's gonna be wild. Is like, so with the item shop before the update, you've had people that play the game for 10 years and still buy the wrong items or not buy the right item.
Yeah.
Now you have a whole new complete system. I think everyone's gonna be fucked. No one's gonna know what to build.
Yep. For a
People
while.
are-
That's how you download Blitz. It tells you what to do.
Obviously, the problem is Blitz. I think pretty sure Blitz just takes the information from the most
It's win percentage.
common. Yeah,
It's win
the
percentage,
stats.
which doesn't
So
mean a
people-
lot.
People building stuff could just be building stuff just because they don't know what it is, and they could win with it. But
Yeah.
it could not be the most efficient.
Yeah, I would say
item
right
to
now
build.
that doesn't mean anything. But in due time.
Yeah, it's gonna be a
Standard.
really long time before they're like some set builds and
Actually, yeah.
The way people play League, man, I give it like by the time the regular season starts, we'll have. Our
we have the league math wizards who are just doing fucking all the math calculations with items.
It'll be figured out real quick.
This triggers this plus the 10% from the mythic. You got like
Yep.
800 AP and you're like, what the fuck did you
Yeah,
just?
it'll get fleshed out real fast. I'm not concerned about that.
No.
I really love the items, but tanks and fucking bruisers and assassins are fucking broken right now.
Assassins are
Yeah, it's fucking
it's
wild.
nuts. So
One thing to say before I don't know, we didn't talk about this, but a big what's it called LCS league change for LCS next year. this upcoming year is that there's gonna be no more spring split, which is okay. There is gonna be a spring split, but it's not gonna be separated. Spring and summer are combined into one split now,
What the fuck?
and so your record from the start of the year
To that.
to the end of the year matters.
So
And
is there no MSI this year?
There is, but so there's an MSI. So I'm pretty sure to determine who goes to MSI, they now have a mini like tournament, like a playoff between like the higher seeds or something like that.
Like depending on what your standing is mid-season.
At
How
that
many
moment,
games
I think having your whole season matter is important because
I mean, it is important because Double was right. He fucking shit the bed spring split last year with Team Liquid.
And they still.
Yeah, and they still ended up going to Worlds.
Yeah,
Right.
that's the thing. It's kind of like it almost reminds you of like the NBA or like baseball. Like you could fuck off for a third of the season because there's just so many games. It doesn't matter, and especially when you have a legitimate split where you could lose every game and then just do really good the next split and go to Worlds. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
I think it allows the teams to maybe develop and flesh things out. But I think it's unfair for you to be able to really screw your whole first half over and then just come in and be like, okay, well, that didn't work. Let's do this. I think you should be punished for trying to set that stuff out. And it should
You
work
should
out
be able
the
to
way.
put the more consistent team throughout the year in, right? Rather than like someone who like shit the bed for some reason and then somehow did really well. And like now, like, am I going to get the team that shit the bed in Worlds or the team that did really well in Worlds?
Yeah.
You know,
LCS has had a problem with trying to make spring split matter, as in like, so there was a problem with a couple years ago with 100 Thieves where they did really well in spring split and then they shit the bed in summer split, but they still had enough because they're on a point system back then, and where they placed in the spring split they did just well enough to get them into Worlds. So they show up to Worlds, they were still a shitty team because they shit the bed in summer split and it looked like a shitty team got to Worlds. And
I think it should just be you get a whole season. If you want to have like, you can still call it a split and have MSI and all that kind of stuff. It's just that still counts.
Yeah, it doesn't reset your
after
record.
MSI, if you're 0-6, guess what, homie? You 0-6.
Do you, are there more games next season then, or like how many games are? Do they combine the total games, or is it shortened kind of?
I want to say I want to say I read something that they were playing more games. I think with the playoff format that they have and like the playoff format they have going into Worlds, I think it equals more games. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure they're only playing one game a week still. So I don't know. I'd have to probably do some more research on it, but yeah.
Cool. Well, I mean,
it's exciting.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah. No,
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
Because they did, like I said, LCS had such a hard time trying to send the best teams to Worlds with having the first half of the year still matter.
Yeah. You need to send a team that's going to be consistent and you know that can.
And I think your standing going into playoffs before Worlds.
Yeah.
Your standing determines what seed you are, and you could still, I think, potentially play to go to Worlds during that time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't want a team that goes under 500 in the summer split to make it to Worlds because you're in a slump. You're in a slump, and I don't want that team playing.
I don't want you representing me.
Yeah, nah.
I agree. Yeah. All right, let's get on to some next topics. Let's see, Rune King. That's kind of come out trendy. You wanted to talk about like their before we get into the actual game, which we don't only a little bit about. You want to talk about like their partnerships with other companies and stuff like that.
So Riot has, I think they've developed, I think what they're called is called Riot Forge or something like that. That's what their thing is called. But they partner up with third-party studios, like little indie game studios, to make games based on the League of Legends
lore
universe. Yeah, which is I think is really cool. I mean I love League of Legends and it's fucking awesome. And I was hoping for games like this to come out and like bring those characters from the universe and like have a whole different experience. You can have like an RPG game, but you're playing as as Draven or as like
on the story more.
Yeah,
there's actually tons of lore.
There's a lot of lore.
Exactly. So there's so much
of it, but there is lore.
Yeah,
there's so much that people can take. Yeah, exactly. Well, you don't know any of it, but if you played a game through it, you could learn through it, and like you would be involved because you know the characters already. You might not know what their background is, but you can find out. And I think
that'd be cool.
they have so much content
Yeah.
that third parties could use, and I think this is a great thing for Riot. It's taken them 10 years to do it, but I think it's gonna be fucking awesome. I think
Yeah, and I
the
think
little indie games
Runeterra
that come
kind of
out.
started off with that too, with like all the little videos and how the cards interact with each other. They had
Right, and like you have like lands, like where people come from, like how
Mhm.
like
Yep.
their land is like set up, and like
Yeah,
how
because now
like what
there's
they
like the
people go through.
Targon region. I didn't know really until Runeterra that there was like I knew there was like Demacia and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, like I didn't realize who was part of what, and like started researching it until like Runeterra when you're like, oh, Targon's coming out. Who's Targon? I'm like, oh, okay, so Tarek and like Lulu or whoever, all these people are part of Targon. Not Lulu, but you know what I mean. Or like part of Targon, and who's Demacia? Like I didn't know Shyvana was Demacia
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah, I
Which is
think,
kind of
man,
crazy. So
it's so
you're good.
sorry.
You're
I'm
good,
sorry.
man.
It's so crazy that Riot has set this up to from 10 years
They were
ago.
just
Now they have
waiting,
an
dude.
an entire universe that they can.
They have like
branch out and, like, have
140
people work on it.
characters to work around.
Yeah, and they have like a whole all of the lore of all the characters, and you can like. I'm honestly I don't really okay. I've said this before on this podcast, so it was just Matt and I don't really play single player games, but if there's a fucking like story game that involves Riot lore, I'd fucking play the shit
Where's
out of
our
it.
MMO with the entire world?
And it's smart that they're branching out into multiple platforms now. So Rune King is supposed to be some like turn-based RPG kind of game. Not too much more is known about that, but it's definitely going to involve a lot of story. It has a lot of like Bilgewater and a few other champs like Ari and things like that
Mhm.
going into it. And it's going to kind of really expand to the story of all of them. And they're going to be on like PS4, Switch, Xbox, and a PC. So they're really expanding everywhere. I mean, like Riot is. I think I said it before too. Riot's like the new Blizzard. They're gonna fucking crush the gaming
Mhm.
world. And they've been developing an MMO. It's no secret. They're definitely making one. That comes out, dude.
It's gonna be
That
wild.
could change just how like WoW changed gaming forever. It could change.
Yeah,
gaming.
you already have
Riot's
such
already done
a
it.
you already have such a large fan base just on League that making it an RPG, you pull in like a whole different set of players, right?
Yep.
They're doing so good, dude. Because like not that they only have League to get you involved into like the universe, but they have other games like
Yeah,
TFT.
like if you did,
They hit so many
Yeah,
player bases.
you don't-
because
if
some
you don't
games
like
they
a
have to
MOBA,
bring you into the universe.
yeah, if you don't have if you don't like playing MOBAs, here's a fucking card game.
Yeah,
If you don't like that,
exactly.
here's Auto Chess.
Yeah.
If you don't like any of those, well, guess what? We're making a turn-based RPG.
And
game.
everyone like plays with the same kind of like champions and stuff like that, so you get to know like the characters no matter what branch of the game you're playing. Or
Yeah.
it's
It's
crazy.
it's genius.
Yeah,
And,
they're insane.
And I think
whoever is doing like the big brain moves, right? I mean, good for you, man. Or
Shout
girl,
out to you.
Whatever. Yeah. Legit.
I just do want to make a shout out that the Rune King is also supposedly gonna be like one of the new champions coming out because Blade. I don't know, Blade of the Rune King. This is the Rune King.
Yeah.
So it's supposed that this champion's coming out with the game too. The game is supposed to be like Battle Chasers for anyone that's listening who's played it. Is kind of like a old school Final Fantasy turn-based RPG. I played it. I loved it. I 100% of the game. I'm really excited for it. I'm just it's gonna be fucking
weird
awesome.
flex, but okay.
Yeah, I'm super pumped. And I mean, another new champ.
Yeah.
Riot just makes a new champ every freaking week. There was a time, I think a few years ago, it was like a new champ every fucking week. It was nuts.
I think it was yeah. They were coming out with champions like every 2 weeks.
Crazy what they were doing. I think now they've slowed that down.
They're like, wait a minute, dude. we can't keep up with
And
this.
it makes sense now because at one point I was like, why are they just making all these champs? But now what they're doing is they've created this universe of characters, and now they've really slowed down, and now it's going more into
Remaking other
other
characters.
game. Yeah. So it's well, they're remaking like the old school. Like a lot of the champs back they were very basic. That's kind of how it was, and then you come out with champs like Camille, and then you still have like I don't know, basic ass champs like before they reworked Ash and stuff like that. It's just like they don't really do anything. Or like Malphite, old Malphite. Even though they don't really do too much to him now. I mean, like you just had to like kind of revamp a little bit so they're still competitive. But I think the remaking of champs is good, and I think making new games. I mean, like I said, I'm excited for Rune King and see what else they got planned.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
I'm a Riot fanboy. I'm excited.
I like the idea of working. I like the idea of working with other companies too to like put other games together because they have like a whole different like way of doing things or like making a game, right? So you have like their ideas with your lore, right? So it's not like they can come up with something we've never seen before, right? And
we've seen that before of other companies. I'm a big Star Wars guy. LucasArts with all their books, that's what they did. They didn't write the books. They just had all these other publishers and
Yep.
Authors write the books. They just had the lore, and there's so many authors that have created their own lore that's still canon to this day in the Star Wars universe. So, which is pretty cool, and that's potentially what could happen with League. Is you have these third-party game people, they come up and they create maybe their own lore or own abilities or whatever, and it sticks.
Yep.
And who knows, maybe a new champs and stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say they
So-
could make up their own champ just to like throw in, and their league gets to know a new champ.
Yep. So it's cool to see where this will go to. So
Let other people do
All
the
right.
work for you.
Oh yeah, that's the key, man. So what else we got? Valorant, first major tournament? Tran? I think you're the only Valorant main guy here. So what do you guys
So it's the major, the first strike major
Mhm.
hasn't started yet. We've done the qualifiers. Sorry, I'm a little unprepared because I'm trying to find who qualified.
You're
I told me. Anyway, yeah. So the bracket is like kind of complex because you can only send. I think it's like 16 teams to the major,
Mhm.
and I think it's NA and EU. I'm pretty sure, and so the NA has to do their qualifiers, and so they send. So the first set of qualifiers is done. 4 teams confirmed.
Mhm.
I can't find teams right now. I'm sorry.
C9 was
The
one of
second-
them,
the
right?
sec-
With
No,
no.
not technically. They said they won the first qualifier, which put him into the closed qualifier. Top 4 from the closed qualifier go on to the major.
All right. Okay.
And then they do that again with complicated. It's complicated if you can't see the bracket right in front of you. Either way.
I think it's complicated even if I could see the bracket, man.
Okay, whatever, man. Well, anyway, yeah, the first major's coming up. I don't have the teams for it. I'm sorry, but I'm excited for it because it's the first major. It's like Counter Strike. The majors are what people always look forward to, and it's like just hype. I don't play Counter Strike, but when the major comes up, I still tune in for at least like the semifinals to finals and just see how in crazy
When can
intense.
we expect for the major to come out?
I think the major. I couldn't tell you for sure. I think it's at the end of the month because it's like
Okay.
they're doing qualifiers and they're going right into the major as soon as everyone qualifies.
Oh.
So,
I'm down to watch it, man.
and then this month or early December, something like that.
Cool.
Excited for it.
I'll be
Um,
pumped up, man. Because I suck at that game, but I always like watching people play that game because it's really good.
Yeah.
Well, so I did tune in to watch some of the games, and it's just like, man, it's so because like when the scene first popped up, it was like TSM was like basically top, and like Sentinels was there too, and like some other people. Now like you got, I know Envy qualified. Envy played 100 Thieves. 100 Thieves shit the bed the first like few months that Valorant was out, and they were like not even considered a team. They're terrible. Now they're qualified for this major already, and like they're doing great. It's so cool to see random
All
teams
this
pop
thing
up
develop.
and like
Yeah.
just all of a sudden this esports scene is fucking
Well, I
Poppin'.
feel like Valorant drew in a lot of players from like a lot of different like pro scenes, like CS:GO, like
all those shooter
Overwatch.
scenes, yeah.
Like, so you have like this huge talent pool of players, and they're like still like trying to put together teams and like find like who's gonna be like
What works
what
well,
works
yeah.
well. So like all these teams are just constantly changing and constantly improving, and then
right because Counter Strike is like you could compare Counter Strike and Valorant, but they're still like pretty significant in difference. And like
Yeah.
you can't not every Counter Strike player is gonna be great at Valorant, but like
yeah.
but let's see like good Overwatch players like Sinatra comes into Valorant and they smurf on everyone, right? And he's not. I mean, Overwatch and Counter Strike are completely different games. You can't even compare the two really. And it's
Yeah,
just,
other
like,
than like the abilities, kinda,
Yeah.
they're way.
Yeah.
It's such a different kind of game. The only similarity, honestly, is just
Aiming.
that there's champs and there is abilities. Other than that, I mean, it's pretty much all CS:GO after that.
yeah.
and I'm so excited because like I've seen Sinatra play Overwatch, but like Overwatch is like whatever.
Whoa.
To see like his talent come into Valorant, into a game that like I kind of understand and more excited about is fucking insane because he was an insane player in Overwatch and it just seemed to be an insane player in Valorant. The kid, I mean, he's got raw skill.
Yeah.
Right?
He's
fucking
only 18, 19. Like he
Really young.
he got recruited at 16 and couldn't play for an entire year on Overwatch. He was just that good. They just recruited him, paid him a bunch of money just to sit
insane. Just to
and
be there.
get good. And then he won 2 seasons in a row, was MVP, and then was just like, all right, let's go smurf on some people in Valorant.
Yeah, so imagine fucking being so good at a game and fucking transferring to another game and being just as good or even better.
Hey man, if you can aim in one game, you can aim in another game, dude.
I guess so. And it's just so weird to think about, like, the gameplay between Overwatch and Valorant is
not
just
even close.
completely different.
Unless you're a McCree main, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's high noon.
Cool. I mean, yeah. Anyway, Valorant Mage is gonna start soon. I'm excited for it.
High noon.
Shut the fuck up.
All
You got that out of your system, my guy?
right. Well,
Yeah, we could.
super pumped up for that. I'm actually excited to watch that. I'm never gonna play Valorant because I'm trash at first-person shooters, but I am
Matt,
down.
Kayla is playing Valorant like
Yeah,
4
Kayla's-
hours a day. I think you'll be all right.
No, because I get tilted. She probably doesn't get upset. She's like, oh, I lost again. I'm like, fuck. And then my wife gets worried about me, and my dog starts shaking, so I can't play that
Your
game.
dog starts
Yikes.
shaking because
Yeah,
are you
yell
the
at
one
the computer.
shaking your dog because you're angry?
No, Jesus. Let's talk about Elden Ring. Phil
Ooh.
Spencer. Now we're doing a big shift, everyone. We're going away from Riot. We're going to talk about Elden Ring. It is going to be a Dark Souls-like game that Phil Spencer played. If you don't know who Phil Spencer is, he's basically the CEO of Microsoft. So he played, he said, hours of it. He can't really divulge too much, but he said it's a very big game that's coming out. It's from the same creator of Dark Souls. Also, the story is written by George R.R. Martin.
Oh,
You don't know who that is? It's a little suspect, but that's the guy who created Game of Thrones. So the story should be amazing. All the really that's out there about the game is the trailer, which seems pretty creepy
Is
and
this-
cool. Very Dark
It's a
Souls.
completely new universe.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, totally
Yep.
different. It's a
Yep.
totally different thing. Definitely has some of the same kind of art style and look to it, but it's going to be pretty exciting to see. Apparently, he said Phil Spencer said it's I don't know the creator's name, but it's his most ambitious game yet, which is something to say considering that all the Dark Souls games are always in Bloodborne and Code Vein and things that were all very ambitious to begin with. So, very excited to see how that's going up, and I'm excited to see more. But it does add a lot of hype to it, and I feel like we had too much hype. Not always good.
Matt doesn't get hype
Are
for
you-
games, all right? He just he doubts the whole
Are you
process.
more-
I
Are you
get
more-
hyped for games, but there's so many times I've gotten hyped for a game and I play it, and I'm like, well, this was trash. Like, fuck.
Listen, based on
So-
who the writer is, your character's probably gonna die halfway through the game, and then you're gonna have to
No,
start.
not your character. All your friends and loved ones will die.
Yeah.
So I looked at a YouTube comment. I like the top one in the trailer, and the guy was like, he's like, a game where all your friends are gonna die and a game where you're gonna die is a perfect fit because George R. R. Martin's like everyone you know is gonna die, and
And then the game ends, and you're gonna be like,
and the game killed you.
Yeah.
So he's like, it's a perfect fit. Everyone's just gonna die.
and then the game ends, and
So-
you're like, oh, that was okay.
depressing.
You know?
Are you more excited to play this game for the gameplay or like the storyline that the come out? I guess, or maybe both.
I would say the gameplay. I think that having George R. R. Martin is just like an added bonus. I think it's cool. What kind of annoys me is I want George R. R. Martin. I want his old ass sitting at home writing fucking Game of Thrones.
Nah, dude.
Not fucking making video games. You know, stay in your fucking lane, bro.
do you
so-
really like Dark Souls-ish games?
Yeah, I think they're fun.
What do you think?
That's
Yeah.
too hard for me, man.
I always
Visually,
thought those kind of games would be too hard.
visually, that game looks beautiful, but if
Wow.
I played Dark Souls 1 for a little bit, and I was like, this is too hard, man. I'm like sweating and like try-harding way too hard. I just want to run around and like.
I will say that Sekiro died twice was super tough. That's one I did not end up beating. It was.
How far did you get in it though?
Oh man, probably like 30%.
Oh my
so
goodness.
That hard.
the game has like side bosses and side things and different ways you can do it. And I ended up going to like, I forgot this boss has like 3 phases, and it was so toxic. And now since I haven't played in so long, I'd have to restart the whole game. But that game is fucking rough, bro. Like Oh my
Talk
god.
about getting angry and your wife being worried about you.
Oh my god. Me and my friend Matt
What?
played a lot. Yeah, another Matt.
Matt.
We both got the game. We both were just like, "How far are you?" He's like, "I'm still stuck." I'm like, "I'm still stuck too." And it was just so terrible. And eventually, I was like, "I'm just not like having fun anymore. I gotta stop playing this damn game." But, like Dark Souls, I was able to like get through it eventually. Like there's a point where in Dark Souls where you're getting murdered all the time. I felt like, and then you finally get used to the gameplay, and then you're starting. It's actually not that hard anymore. You're used to how everything goes, the attacks, how you attack, all that kind of stuff. Sekiro, man, I just like could never get past that hump, and I was just like, I don't give a shit anymore. Like I would get stuck on like mini bosses, like not even like real bosses, like mini bosses would take me forever. And I was like, dude, this game is something else.
Every mini boss is a final boss.
I know, pretty much, dude. I mean, I just lost my shit, so
Alright, well.
didn't beat that game.
Oh, I'll be excited to watch you play this game and get tilted. You got it.
Yeah.
I mean, I played lots of games. I always try to play games on like hard mode. Never like the super crazy one, but like God of War, I did hard mode. I did Jedi Fallen Order on hard mode. I did Star Wars Squadrons on hard mode. Like I try to always make it a little bit more difficult. But Sekiro I played like on easy, and I was getting my shit on. So nah. But so Elden Ring, hopefully it's same thing. You know, I'm excited. I'm gonna play. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna get tilted. Probably not beat it and call it a game. You know, that's what I'm doing. So, next game, Destiny 2 expansion. Ray, you're the one who talks about Destiny 2.
So I haven't played it yet because Godfall came out, and but that game, I love that game, but it tilts me because some of the items and weapons you have to grind for take forever. For fucking ever, and you need to get carried by some fucking guy who's played the game for like 10,000 hours. You gotta find him, and so I'm excited for it. I think they had a big update that kind of removed a lot of the older content and a lot of the older like legendary items, and there were some items that I was grinding for that they nerf that they I think either removed or nerfed to the ground, and I'm also very kind of upset about that. But I will be playing eventually. I'm just not ready for that type of pain and commitment.
I would say I'll probably be playing eventually as well. I'm not playing it right now, but so with the whole getting like grinding for stuff, and like it's like obviously being very difficult if you're like a solo player or you play with like a low amount of party members. And WoW kind of has that same issue too, but like they kind of fix it with like LFR and like stuff like that, and like it's really easy to find a guild to play with.
Yeah.
Right? In Destiny, I feel like it's so hard to like get a group together. Right?
Yeah,
it's like,
I mean,
to get like a guild or anything, it's like their social interaction system is just like not done very well.
No,
and it's like because like if you want to go find a party, I think you have to use like a third-party app. It's not even made by Bungie.
I don't. They might have one, but yeah, you basically have to go on like Reddit or a third-party site.
You have to go outside of the game, which is
the
most insane user experience thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, why would you want someone to go outside of where they're already at to try to find people to play the game that they're already?
They do like, for some of the like dungeons and stuff have like a party finder, but some of those like you need to have.
Yeah, it's only 3, but
you need to have
not the raids, right?
Not the raids.
Yeah, like, exactly. Not the raid, which is like the harder part.
But also, like, I think in like the raids, there's like some stuff that you need to have like comms for. Like, you can't just
be coordinated.
You just can't just like walk in and like, unless everyone knows what the fuck they're doing. Like you walking into a new raid, you're not gonna have a good time.
Yeah, I don't know, the whole like guild community. Maybe since I play WoW for so long, but like, I feel like when I get into the game, if I took a big ass break and like I'm not part of the guild I was using before, it's like it's kind of easy to find a guild to where I can like be part of the guild and like do raids and like get all the stuff
like
and,
finding an active guild,
cool items, and stuff like that. And like in Destiny, I just feel like it's not even an option, man. It's like if you really wanted to find a group to play with, you got to like really try to.
That's also another.
There's a lot of effort.
That's also another reason why I haven't played. I'm not playing the Destiny 2 expansion is because like typically like Destiny 2 for me, like I want to play with friends, and it doesn't seem like I think I think Minnie's playing, and Zach's playing, but like that's about it. And
Well, I'm not playing else because there's just other games I'd rather play
but that
right
too. But like I want to like if I'm going to play, I want to be able to like play with my friends and like be able to do those raids together because that's the fun part. And like
yeah, it's like the whole point. It's like an MMO
my
style, like,
my break from grinding out this one weapon for 40 hours. So
yeah. Hopefully, I hope they learned, but I hope this expansion release is a lot better than their initial game release because the initial game release was super tilting. Remember all of us grinding for like 2 weeks straight and then not playing anymore because we finished all the content.
yeah. Oh, that's all I have to say about it.
Yeah, we'll play eventually. Hopefully, no, hopefully it's good. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not playing Destiny.
Okay.
And I hate playing MMOs with you guys because it's always like, we're all gonna play. Let's do it.
Don't fucking blame me.
And
It's
no
not
one
me.
plays.
Matt, you
That's not
came in too late, bro. I don't know. We finished the game.
That's not
We
me.
finished the game in like 2 weeks.
I remember when everyone was supposed to play WoW, I was the first one to buy WoW, and no one played except for like Brandon.
What OG? The
played
classic WoW?
No, not Classic WoW. It was before.
Oh,
that.
okay.
And the same reason I buy Classic WoW. Everyone's like, let's play Classic WoW. It lasted a month, and you guys all stopped playing.
I got burnt out,
Wasted
man. I'm not
time.
gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
That was my first time playing WoW, and I was trying to keep up with all these old OG players, and like
that's old school WoW, man. You want to talk about grind? Like seeing here you complaining about like grinding in Destiny. I'm like, bro, in WoW, I mean, like you had to grind for everything.
Well, let's say when in an old school WoW, you got a whole guild grinding for the same
yeah.
objective
I'm out here.
to get this one tank, this fucking legendary fucking item.
I'm out here grinding fucking crucibles by myself, getting smurfed on by fucking everybody. Okay.
Xbox, PS5 have released.
Oh God.
Exciting stuff. Both are sold out
Everywhere.
Basically nationwide. Pretty tough to get a hold of one. And there's a few
You're
things that
lucky
I've,
if you got
Yeah.
one.
yeah, there's a few. I have a couple of friends that I have a friend who bought two, and sold one for like $900. And it's funny. I was reading on Reddit. Someone's like, if you're buying more than one system so you could sell it and make a profit, you're the definition of scum. And for me, I'm like, you sound like a pussy. Because you know what? That's the name of the game. And if you're that upset, like give it a couple months, and there's gonna be plenty of them out, and you can go buy them.
Yeah.
You
In
know, it's
person, like if you're buying in person, like whatever, but if, like just the whole
Yeah.
bots
If you
thing,
set up like
bots
yeah.
buying
So the bots is lame, but at the end of the day, you're gonna get your PlayStation 5 and you're gonna get your Xbox X, whatever it is. There's
Some
not even
people
that
are
many
very
good games
impatient.
out for it right
Yeah.
now. It's not that big of a deal. I'm not even excited to get one right now because like there's ain't shit out for it.
I think everyone's excited for like this fight.
Miles.
Spider-Man game to
Yeah.
keep-
Yeah, Spider-Man game, but like honestly, I'm gonna wait when probably a couple more months, maybe first of 2021 is when I'll get the PS5, and then there'll be new games coming up shortly after that, and then I'll be cool with it. But like, I'm not like crying because someone bought two and was trying to make some extra cash. And if you're also buying a PS5 for over $1,000, you also dumb. Just
Yeah.
chill.
Nah. Some
Why
people.
would you spend so
Some
much
people
money?
need
Very
it.
impatient.
Yeah. Some people need it now.
That's crazy.
Gotta
to
play
me.
with your friends, you know.
I think the problem is that it's coming into the holiday season, and people that don't get it now are probably very panicked and probably like, when can I get it for Christmas, or when can I get it for
You won't.
Yeah. I don't know if you.
Well, that's the problem, bro. What do you want?
Listen, as long as it's not as bad as the Switch, which was sold out for like months.
Yeah.
Like,
And then we.
you could not buy a Switch. You know, I just remember like I'd call places and they'd be like, "Dude, we'll just get some in randomly," and then they're sold out. I was like, all right, and it was like that for months. And finally, I remember walking to Target with my wife to buy something. Had nothing to do with it, and I was like, "I'm just gonna check out the game thing." And there was just a Switch sitting there, and I was like, "Can I buy that?" They're like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh yeah." He's got it. Like I was so lucky to get that, but like, it's never, and that's how it was for like I think the Wii was like that for a while when it first came out. It was tough to get one. It was sold out for a while because they always like don't.
I think
Every console release because everyone wants the newest
Well-
thing, and it's just
But Nintendo specifically because it's like months and months and months. Like the Switch was like 6 months that like you could not.
Well, I think
buy
the
one.
Switch was kind of like a different situation, mainly because everyone was in pandemic mode and like.
No, this is before
No.
pandemic, man.
Oh, okay. I was talking about
pandemic mode.
Like, it was like
Pandemic,
yeah.
yes,
you
that
couldn't find
happened too.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, that happened too. But I mean, like, I'm talking like when the Switch first came out, for like 6 months, it was consistently sold out no matter where it was. And I think Nintendo made it on purpose to make it seem like, oh my god, like they're being sold out everywhere. But they were only given like the target house would get like 3 of them. It wasn't like they're getting 50 of them. I think with Xbox X and PlayStation, they've always sold out in the beginning, but it's never been like you can't get one 6 months later. I don't see that happening. I think it's going to be fine.
Yeah, that's definitely not gonna happen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But with Nintendo, that's what
People,
happens.
I mean,
think
people are just impatient.
yeah, people are impatient to lose their fucking minds. But super exciting. And I think Xbox got their biggest release ever. So
Interesting.
props to them.
You guys,
You see the thing on Twitter where people trolling Xbox, blowing smoke into their thing and making a video of the
oh my god.
smoke rising out of the fucking.
Xbox X is smoking. Whatever. I mean, people do that all the time. People do that with that's like when the iPhone, like, I don't know, 8 or 7 came out. And they're like, oh, it's bending in my pocket. I'm like, oh, shut up. Just it sitting, it being in my pocket is bending, and it's like, no, it's not.
You're doing backflips in your shit.
So.
I mean, yeah, it's cool. It's really exciting for the people that are console players. I don't really give a shit. So
Yeah, I'll probably get a PS5 like a year from now. I literally use my PS4 for like Netflix.
I haven't touched my PS4.
Yeah, I literally just turn it on to watch Netflix or Amazon Prime. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't touched my PS4.
The PS5 controller does look pretty cool though.
Nice.
It has kind of I don't know what they call it, but it's like a reactive like bumpers. So it reacts to like something in game, like it has resistance and like weight to the controller.
That's kind of
Yeah.
cool.
It's cool.
So
Yeah.
All right. Do you guys want to talk about Pokimane maximizing her donation?
yeah.
$5.
Yeah, it's not just Pokey was the first one to announce it, I think, but I don't think it's just her. Some other streamers have done it. She set her donation limit to $5, so you can't donate over that much, basically. And so it's like
At a time. You can do it multiple times.
yeah, at a time. So I think
So if you nerds want to ruin your life still, you still can.
I mean it's kind of cool, but at the same time, like, did she do it just so like? Why?
There's a lot of questions about why.
I think part of it is, I think so. She makes plenty of money. I'm sure she's pretty much good for the rest of her life, unless she does something really stupid with how much she's earned. So part of it can be like, I mean, she probably has a boyfriend or a guy she's talking to, and she doesn't announce that stuff because people donate to her with like, because she's like, oh, she's single, like I'll make money, I'll simp, whatever you want to call it. So I think she feels bad when someone's like, here's $1,000, and she's like, why the fuck would you give me $1,000? So I think by maximizing it to 5, she still can get the donations. People can donate multiple times, but part of
it doesn't put that pressure of like someone just gave you a bunch of money, you gotta do something.
Yeah, I think that's
that
part
too.
of it. Yeah, I think
That actually
there's
makes
a
more
lot of
sense.
parts. I think there's that, and I also think it's publicity. Look at me, I'm good. I'm helping people out, and part of me thinks that she definitely has a lawyer. She definitely has people behind the scenes that are like, yeah, you can do this. You shouldn't say that kind of stuff. I don't think it's as crazy as like a hardcore celebrity or like, you know, sports player or something like that. But I'm sure she has someone behind the scenes kind of helping out that kind of stuff. And I'm sure it's more of like you could potentially you can get sued for anything. So someone giving you $5,000 with the hopes that like they'll get something out of it, like a date or something stupid, and you don't even acknowledge the person's existence. You know, it's maybe like get depressed or whatever like that. And I don't know. I think it can lead up to certain weird allegations, I think. So I think it's just one of those things where it's just like, if you maximize it to 5 and they donate to you 1,000 times, that's their problem. But you know what I mean? Because you set it to a limit, but maybe it protects her a little bit more, and other streamers alike. Not just because she's female, but just in general. Because I've seen like Trick2G, I've seen people do bid wars with them.
No.
Like someone do like $500, and someone's like, well, I'll do 600, and then like the next guy would do like 700. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like people just blowing money like that. So
I think one of the things too is I don't know, there's a simping problem, and I think I don't know about you guys, but I don't have that type of cash, you know, just to be thrown out. And I think there are people who are genuinely ruining their lives by like trying to donate and get the attention of a streamer. And I think
they're trying to get like,
I think she knows that, and I think part of it is her trying to, you know, like I
agree. I don't
like
think
people are like genuinely like not like paying rent and like not having their duties to like pay bills and stuff
Normal
because
life, yeah.
they're spending all this money on her.
To just get a shout out
Yeah.
from Pokey or from Disguised Toast or from
And so
whoever.
it's like she like I think she knows that, and I don't think she likes it. So I think that's part of it. I don't know. I think it's I don't know. I think it's a good
So
decision.
it's like kind of like a bigger stream problem. Do you guys see smaller streamers doing this?
No,
Nah.
because you need that
Yeah.
money.
You're like, bro,
Yeah.
$1,000, give that shit. I'll fucking dance right here.
Yeah, dude.
You guys want a bidding war? Go at it, yo.
Yeah.
I'll start it off. I'll donate $1 to myself, and then y'all keep it rolling, dude.
Y'all can figure it out.
But yeah, it's pretty interesting. But you know who isn't gonna do that kind of stuff? Those e-thoughts.
Listen, that's the opposite of what they do. They put a minimum of $5. Okay.
Yeah, that's what they do. And speaking of which, I got like a thing on Reddit being like, Amaranth is trending, and I didn't know what the fuck an Amaranth was. I was like, what is that? Like and it was like big time trending. So I click it, and I was like, oh, this says
Well done.
whore on my fucking
Okay, well,
Cell
wax.
phone
We're not calling people whores out here, bro.
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 She's showing her fucking.
She
puss
shows a
online.
little more skin. Yeah, you know.
Yeah,
like-
no, she showed her a puss on fucking Twitch.
Which
So-
it was, just say it was supposedly an accident. Okay, so we can't,
Uh-huh.
You know what you're doing. Well, I'll tell you what.
Where's your camera angle for that?
I'll tell you what. When I'm was looking at the Amaranth thing, I don't think none of that shit's fucking on accident. So, she's going full into the hooer thought. She's like next level thought.
Yeah, she's I think. Well, a
And
lot
I'm
of
not hating because if I could, I would too. But
a lot of the streaming community like definitely has a very strong opinion on e-thoughts, and a lot of them are not very happy. But the problem is like Twitch doesn't do anything about it, which I don't think.
They can.
Can you?
I don't
They
think
have
can.
TOS. Like you can't obviously.
Oh, they have
like,
to, so if you're actually like just nude, yeah, I
you
think they
can't
can
just
do
full
anything, but,
cam girl on Twitch. You know.
Yeah.
It's smart though. If you're like a good-looking chick and you just get a little like wear kind of skimpy stuff on your Twitch, and then just be like, I have an OnlyFans. Like,
I love.
Yeah, I mean that's what
Kinda
that's
smart,
what
honestly.
that's what we consider e-thoughts in this discussion is like are those chicks who are just what's that? Their demographic they're trying to hit is very
lonely.
Yeah. The
Weird.
ones who.
Goddamn.
Guys, and also I will say that the one thing that probably parents don't realize too is when you have your 12-year-old watching fucking Twitch is you don't think they're gonna be watching some like whore
cam girl, yeah.
cam girl and then see an OnlyFans thing and then try to get into that with mom's credit card,
Yeah.
So that's one bad thing I can see about that, and I think that depending on what they're wearing and stuff like
Yeah.
that, you might want to do like a mature audience thing. That's something Twitch could do to handle that.
They
but
are.
it's tough.
I'm pretty sure they already do.
Yeah.
I'm pretty positive. Yeah, because
I
like
think
that's
if you
good
cuss
then.
on stream, you have to put your. Thing
But I
on.
mean, no cussing. But I mean, like, if you're wearing something skimpy, but everything's still covered up, but it's skimpy. I mean, like,
I think
does
they'd
that-
have issues like trying to determine like they would have to like go on.
What is
They would
skimpy?
have to go on every single
Yeah.
person's stream and be
Yeah.
like, all right, nah, this is like in the mature
So
category.
I guess basically parents, probably none of them are listening to this podcast, but if you are, beware. There's thoughts on Twitch, and your 12-year-old might be watching it.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, if
I can't hate
as
the
an
game.
e-thought, I understand what they're trying to
Yeah.
do. It's just like, man,
Hey man, if you need money and there's a supply for it, and you show
man.
it and whatever, that's just
Yeah.
the name of the game. I mean,
that's just you grinding, man.
the
Yeah.
sex industry is enormous, and if you're gonna get on it through gaming and have your OnlyFans and have people donating for you, I mean,
Yeah. Shout out to
I
you
mean,
for
it's-
being able to use what you got to make money, because I definitely
I mean,
can't make
if you were
money.
my daughter, I'd be disappointed, but I mean, you're not.
Listen,
so-
I don't know. Someone sent me this, but it was like a posting of like a recording of like the revenue of a fans only girl, and it was like $10,000 to $15,000 a day, like a was it a not a day, but like a week. Like it was some like
Yo, yeah,
insane
it's
amount.
like
yeah,
weekly,
it was
yeah.
like an insane amount. It's like Jesus Christ. Like props to you, bro. Like you out here
Would you
balling.
guys allow your
Sugar
daughter?
daddy's
yeah.
out there.
Would you guys allow your daughter to be an ESOP?
Listen, I'm not gonna limit my child as long as she's not doing dumb things.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say that she can't. I will tell her. I will express my opinions about it. But
What if she's like 16?
That's
ESOP
illegal, bro.
In your house.
Yeah,
That's illegal. Listen.
No, not. I'm saying just not like you're doing like OnlyFans provocative.
Listen, not under my house. If she's making enough money, e-thoughting it, she can go live somewhere else. I mean, not under my house, probably. But
18 and over,
I'm
you
just
can do
saying-
whatever you want.
Yeah.
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 But if you're younger, like 16, but still being kind of skimpy,
Nah,
be like, listen,
because
kid,
when you're 16 doing that, you got some older dudes creeping, and that's not. we not doing
Yeah.
that, bro.
but
but
18 over, it's
I won't
kinda
ever
like
limit.
I mean, 18 or she
I'm
can
never
go.
gonna like
Yeah.
limit or like tell my daughter like what to
that. She's getting
do.
cut off.
But I mean, she at some point she'd probably be making more money than me. So like,
That's what I'm saying.
whatever.
I mean, if she can do it, she's probably making more money. Than
So
I am,
if
so.
that's how she wants to live, like I will be like, hey, this is how you should take care of that money. Please invest your ethot money into like an IR like a
ETHOT
bank account.
an ETHOT
Here
IRS,
you need to invest
or
in these stocks, and then you can make
Yeah.
money on money. So when you can no
Yeah.
longer do this, you're good.
Put them in some thought
All right.
stocks. We good.
Also, can you buy me a house? Thank you.
Help.
Remember who raised you for 18 years. Okay, it wasn't for me. You maybe wouldn't have been so.
Remember who
cautious,
gave
know?
you that body?
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Jeez.
These jeans, all right. Nah, I mean, listen, it's a thing. You know, sex workers and all them. That's it's
Yeah,
like
I mean,
a
I'm not
legitimate
trying
job.
to banner from the family or anything like that, but it's just like,
It's a thing, man.
Not
Like,
my
you make money off of it if you can make money doing something. But why not?
All right, let's get away from that. Godfall experience. How was your experience with Godfall, Rick?
I actually genuinely like the game. I'm still so when I play new games, my brain doesn't like the new graphics and like the movement, so I get headaches and I can only play for certain amount of times, and that those time periods get longer before I get headaches. So I'm still working through the headaches, but I genuinely enjoyed it. It's just a hack and slasher.
it's a hack and slash looter,
Yes,
right? Like,
you get gear drops.
and the gear does like cool stuff, right? I assume.
Yeah. So
You trade stuff.
the way it works is like you get 2 weapons, and then like you have an armor plate, so you don't have like individual armor pieces like a headgear, shoulders and stuff. It's just one like set, and you craft sets with material you find on these different worlds, and each like armor plate has basically a different ability, like a special and like different stats to it, and then like you can augment.
Did you find bosses? Is there
There's bosses. I've fought
yeah.
a couple mini bosses and a boss.
So how do you make a hack and slash boss?
It's kind of like a Dark Souls kind of vibe, you know, like you can summon minions, and then there's like different phases to it. And
Gotcha.
you just
It's like a super graphic in Hades, kind of.
pretty much, yeah. It's not like one of those games where you can like completely turn your brain off, because you do have to like parry and dodge, or you will die. Like I've died. I'm playing on like just normal mode, and I've died a couple times just because I wasn't like paying attention or I mistimed something. So you definitely just can't like run around like do whatever the fuck you want. But it's definitely a fun like just like run around murder things type of game.
No, yeah, that's cool. I mean, yeah, I mean, if I was still playing other games, I might be dabbling in that game. But it's just okay. So the problem I have right now is there's so many games out there I want to play that I just don't have enough time to play.
Yeah.
That's scary. It's crazy. I never
Yeah.
thought I'd complain about that.
Yeah,
but-
exactly. I never thought I'd have that problem, and then I'm like, well, fuck, man.
Quarantine hit and was everyone's like, let's drop some games, bro.
Just drop
Oh
some
my
bangers.
god, I played
Yeah.
so many games in quarantine. Which we might be having a second one now. So
Oh yeah.
Matt, did you have any games you want to talk about that you played recently that you had a good experience with? Oh, you just been playing Runeterra recently.
yeah,
right?
because that KDA event's out. I'm close to getting all the gems for it. So I think I need probably another like 80 gems, and I'll complete it with the event. And I'm also trying to get to Diamond again. Because because I had to really rank up because I didn't rank for a whole season. So then I started in Iron again. So I'm going all the way back up.
Your
So
MMR
it's
got
kind of, yeah, my MMR got fucked. So it's kind of rough, lot of playing, but it's fun because it actually gives me time to like try the new decks, new things like that, and also get all those like gyms that I want.
Tran,
Only downside is I kind of want to play TFT because I'm actually really like the rotations they have right now.
Tran, you've been playing a lot of
Squadrons was a lot of fun.
Sorry. Oh.
No, you're good. There's like Squadrons was a lot of fun. That's probably the last game that I played. There's a lot of games that are coming. I kind of want to get Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I heard it's actually very good, and I can get that for PC right now. But I don't know. I want to do one thing at a time. So right now I'm just gonna focus on Runeterra and then go after that. Next.
Talking about Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So I play Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and okay, so basically all Assassin's Creeds now are kind of like cookie cutter, kind of like the same thing. Basically, it's basically the same game, but just in a different
Reskinned.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So like, I understand like people enjoy the game. It's like, games feel so similar to me. It's like kind of frustrating.
You want?
Well, that's why like when I think Odyssey came out, that was the first newer one, right? Or Origins. It was Origins.
Yeah.
It was like the one in Africa or whatever.
Yeah, so I play
That
Odyssey,
was a lot of fun.
but I've seen gameplay of Valhalla. And I was like, this is like, I mean, it might be what they're doing, I guess, because like, so
It's like less stealthy, more of a hack and slash, and you get to like rape and pillage and kind of.
Well,
stuff.
you can do like, yeah, you can do whatever. Like, I was listening to Shroud, and it's like someone asked him, was like, "Is this game of the year?" Shroud's like, "Hell no." The people that make Assassin's Creed don't make Assassin's Creed to be game of the year. They make it too good. There,
not going. I mean, I would say their first two Assassin's Creed games were like, it was so new, it was so amazing. The story was.
Oh yeah,
awesome.
like now though, yeah.
But now it's more just.
They're like very specific. There's a demographic they're trying to hit, and it's not the game of the year.
Origins came out, and like I wasn't even like. I was like almost beating Origins, and then they were like, now announcing Odyssey, and I was like, you guys just came out of Origins, like a new Assassin's Creed of the year, and Origins came out. Now we have Valhalla, and I'm just like, okay, I see what they're doing, which is fine. I'm not hating it. I would do the same shit, if I could, but it's definitely like same graphics, same everything. They're just reskinned it real quick, so it's easy to pump out these games because they're not like
they don't
have
like the same engine. Yeah, it's just like
it's all there.
So like my thing is like, I don't know, man. I feel like because like you played the game in a whole different setting. Like at the same time, you have to keep the same Assassin's Creed game. But like I feel like there's just more that they could do. And maybe like I said, maybe they're just not trying to do that, which I kind of understand.
Maybe they're like, scared to get away from if it's not.
You're trying to hit a very specific.
If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Well.
You know.
Exactly. So it's like,
and
I kind of wish they would try to do more, but at the same time, I understand that why.
And I think they're trying to utilize that like program, like everything they have settled in now to their full potential, like trying to just pump all these games out. And I think once like the new game comes out and they have to start using the new Unreal Engine, it'll be a break and then they'll pump it out again. But yeah, I feel like they're running out of timelines eventually. But I bet there's
bet you be in the future, okay? You be in the future,
being people sticks and shit. Yeah,
but I mean like, but Pokemon, I mean Nintendo's doing the same thing, or Game Freak or whatever. I mean they're doing they're basically reskinning all these old Pokemon games. I mean they did. Which I guess we're kind of getting close to that anyways, but Gold and Silver are going to the Switch. It's pretty no longer. They haven't like announced it, but it's not really a rumor anymore. It's gonna happen. It's going. Everything that's been kind of looked after is happening, and it's also pretty much confirmed that it's gonna be like either Pokemon Eevee or like Sword and Shield. I think they're gonna more go the Sword and Shield route. But it's all there. They just have to. I mean, it's gonna be so easy for them to reskin Pokemon, especially like Eevee and Pikachu, to just be Sword and Shield. I mean, Gold and Silver. Just have to add the Johto region, and that's it. The game's that's the game. And they're gonna do the same thing to Sapphire and probably Black and White. I think they're gonna revamp them all, and then that's what they're gonna do. Probably like every like years. Okay, here's Gold and Silver, and then the year after that they'll be like, here is. I don't know, Star and Nebula. I have no idea what they're going to do.
We're running out of objects.
Yeah. It just feels different between the Pokemon ports. Like, okay, the Pokemon, like, you know, remakes and, like, they're on the same engine, basically. It's basically the same game reskinned. But it feels different than having Assassin's Creed be basically the same game reskinned.
I agree.
it feels different. Like it's like the whole game type is just different.
Well, because you're basically. It's tough to say because you could easily make the argument that when you play all the Pokemon games, you're
Playing
basically
the
playing
same
the
game.
same game. But it just, I agree. If you've played all the games, you know what we mean. It feels way different, and I agree with you, Trent. And when you play all the Assassin's Creed games, it feels kind of the same.
Yeah.
You're just like, all right, I am assassinating people. I have to go here and do this, do that, and then I go back to my home base. Whereas Pokemon's an adventure and a journey, and I think that's
Pokemon. You have different gym
Whereas-
leaders, different like Pokemon, like everything's like very different. You have different like
and I think
enemies.
Assassin's Creed, like killing a Viking and killing a Egyptian horse rider is the same.
You
shit.
kill them. You kill them the
Kill
same way,
people and
right?
you go- yeah. So it's not that much different. So it'll be. I don't know. I think hopefully after Valhalla they take a little break, just because I feel like it's a little too much. But I mean, if they're making money, they're gonna make a killing on Valhalla.
Yeah, like I said, I feel like they could do more, but at the same time, I understand why they don't. Just what. Real quick, just backtracking real quick. I know we were talking about our recent game experiences. I know Ray wanted to ask me about Watch Dogs.
You have been playing. You've been grinding it out, so I wanted to know if.
And like I said, I was a few episodes ago. I was really excited for this game, and I still am. I really love it. The game is more of a. So before you played like one person, and like you could do like a bunch of different stuff and whatever. This game, like you could you recruit people, and each person has a different
role.
They have different things that they do better than other people. So I just unlocked a getaway driver, which they have cars that can like hack everything around them and like make sure you have a clear space to go through and stuff like that. So they're really good at like driving missions or stuff like that. There's also I've been playing a lot of this guy who's a drone expert who has a drone that can just like fly around and, like shoot people. It's really good to be kind of stealthy. I kind of like that guy. But what I really like about the game is that like you can't just pick one person and play that person for the entire game, because there's definitely scenarios where you need
the other guy with different abilities.
So I went to this mission with the more of a stealthy guy. He kind of just like does like some hacky stuff and does like drone things. And at the end of the mission, they don't tell you this. At the end of the mission, you get into a huge firefight, and like there's no way around it. You're in a firefight. You need guns, and I didn't upgrade any of my guns, so all I had was a fucking pistol. And so like I died. I pick another character. I died again. And so I couldn't get past the mission. So I had to restart the mission, but I had to go recruit a hitman who has more arsenal, right? Who has actual guns. And then I can finally beat the mission because I can actually kill people like efficiently. And so I kind of think I really enjoyed that aspect of the game. Was like you can have a favorite, but you can't pick him for every mission. And like every mission has like a certain way that is like most efficient. You can do it with other stuff. I can play that firefight mission with the hacker guy. I probably could beat it if I upgraded like some like more guns and stuff.
Or if you got good,
but
yeah,
okay, whatever. I just didn't. And so like the other mission was like, more beneficial for the hitman guy. And I think the game is really cool like that. And I really enjoy the storyline so far. If the storyline's like about you kind of play on like a hacker group, which is like like I guess you could say is anonymous in our day and age, maybe. But like the story is they get framed and like they're trying to stop like human trafficking and like some super futuristic like storing your brain in like a database and like kind of recreating it. And so but then you become a zombie because you're just in a database. You're just data basically, but you have a consciousness. It's really intense. But anyway,
okay.
Yeah, I just really enjoy the game. I really like playing a stealth game, so I kind of play the game kind of more stealthy if I can. And it's just like it's cool. I don't have to. It's not super hard or anything like that. It's kind of like a just chill.
Are there
like,
different difficulties you could play on, or is it just?
So the difficulties is like I said in one of the missions I died.
So you changed the settings to easy. All right.
No. In the mission I died, and at the difficulty I'm at right now, they just like they go to the hospital and you can get them back later. In the other missions, they die. They're dead. You can't use them anymore. And so like there's like. So when you walk around the town, there's like a normal person could have like a couple traits and like but the really like good characters that you want to recruit onto your team have like at least 4 traits, but they're rare. And so if you lose if you're playing on higher difficulty, you lose one of those characters with like one of the like 4 traits basically like really good.
They're gone forever.
I mean they're gone forever. And you're gonna have a hard time finding another person like that.
Okay.
So I mean I'm not playing on that difficulty, but I'm saying you could. Anyway, just want to put it out there. I really enjoy playing Watch Dogs right now. If you're listening, you're kind of on the fence about it. I'd say get it. It's fucking cool, man.
One thing I can't believe we took so long to talk about this. Johnny Depp, Amber Heard. Gotta talk about
Oh
that.
yeah.
Yeah. So for those of you who may not know, there's a lot of Johnny Depp and Amber Heard have broken up. There was a big allegations of Johnny Depp being physically and
Verbally.
like mentally
Yeah.
abusive to her. Went to court. A lot of things kind of came out during court, especially a specific voicemail that came from her that's like literally her like threatening him and being like totally crazy, and Johnny Depp kind of sounding pretty chill and like, all right, hey, whoa, easy now. That being said, that does not mean that he did not do the things that was said, but point is they settled, which all I'm going to say is that does not mean you are guilty. That means that when you are a multimillionaire and actor and the world is watching this case, it's way better just to be like,
We're done.
what do
Yeah.
you want? And then end it there. That's how I feel. I think a lot of big cases when you're a celebrity finish that way because it's just like the world is watching. Millions of people are watching you break up.
You don't want it to fold out completely because it might get worse. So it's easier just to be
like
like,
it's just like let's just finish this here. And I think so. Anyways, finally after all these things and allegations and whatever settlement, Warner Brothers decided to drop Johnny Depp from being Grindelwald in the third Fantastic Beasts movie.
I think they dropped them from all their projects too, like any future
Right.
Pirates of the
Real quick,
Caribbean.
I swear all of this was like this has been going on for a while.
Yeah, for
hasn't
at
it?
least
Yeah,
a year.
I thought this was
Like a
settled.
while.
I'm
I
surprised
thought
out
it
of
was, like-
nowhere this came back up again. So
Yeah, I thought it was already settled and that like Depp was cleared.
yeah,
That's
basically.
what I thought. But I
Basically.
guess not. I don't know.
Well, so I think you're not the only one who thinks that because the community has been outraged. They now are like, okay, you want to kick off Johnny Depp, whatever. We think Amber Heard should be kicked off of Aquaman as playing as Mira, I think her name is. There's almost 1 million, which doesn't mean shit, but there's almost 1 million signatures stating to get her removed. Someone even put a rendition of Emilia Clarke being the new Mira, like put her in, made her look like a mermaid kind of thing, and it actually looked kind of cool. So people were like really against it. So it just goes to show you that Warner Brothers just don't know what the fuck they're doing. And on top of all of this, they still have to pay Johnny Depp 7 figures because in his contract, he just paid just for signing that contract, and he filmed 1 scene. So he's gonna get paid more than all of the other actors for doing 1 scene. And honestly, I bet Johnny Depp. I mean, I guarantee if Warner Brothers like, hey man, sorry, let's bring you back on. I guarantee he says, "Fuck you guys," takes his fucking mill and does whatever he wants. And I think Warner Brothers, I feel like the issue why people want to get rid of Amber Heard is because she did the same thing. She was also, which was proven, physically and also verbally abusive to Johnny Depp. So if you're gonna play this whole like equality and trying to be protective thing, you gotta get rid of both.
Listen,
yeah, you gotta axe both.
They both suck. They both suck.
This is my own opinion. This is my.
They got rid of Johnny Depp in the first round. Found out that he was the imposter.
Listen,
you gotta get rid of Amber Heard now.
This is my opinion, but I think they got rid of the better actor. I'm just saying, like,
good thing I think.
Come on,
is that Johnny Depp's Grindelwald wasn't super active in the movie. Has very small scenes, and that's part of the character. It's nothing against Johnny Depp or the character. He's just very like he's the antagonist that you barely see doing all these crazy things behind the scenes, like I don't know, like Palpatine in Star Wars. Like, you don't see him all that often in the older ones. He's just kind of there. So replacing him is definitely easier than replacing Amber Heard. But the point is, if you're going to be fairness, if you're going to come out being like, we think the unjust stuff that Johnny Depp did requires his removal, then you got to play the same fucking game with Amber Heard, and it really, we're playing this. This is what it is.
But
it's what you kind of got to do. And I think Warner Brothers,
I think they fucked up,
put themselves between a rock and a hard spot because I think they're going to have to.
But the thing is you're basically saying that he can't work on any of your projects in the future.
My thing is, why ask Johnny Depp?
It's like a PR thing.
They thought it was a bad PR that this guy potentially beat and mentally abuse his wife.
I thought he was cleared. Is he not cleared? Is he abusive? I don't know. That's what I'm asking. I thought he was cleared.
I think it was pretty much cleared, but I think
It's like the stigma that like
yeah, it's like the stigma. Listen, it's kind of like with Kobe and the whole rape allegation. There are people to this day who still think, and R.I.P. Kobe, that still think he's a rapist. Does not matter that he was cleared. He settled all this stuff. There are tons of people that when he died, they were like, I can't people care that this rapist died. And you're like, Jesus Christ.
they might be worried about like
You know.
future instances also, like okay, like this guy has
Yeah.
like this drama or like, drama follows him, right? So we don't want
Like Amber Heard is fucking crazy. Like that chick's nuts. I'm not. That she just she's a bat case, man.
How did how did Johnny Depp get all the way here, not knowing that she was crazy?
Because she's hot. And he's looking at that. Cause he's thinking of his cock. That's what he was doing.
sometimes your brain doesn't work when it comes to love.
Well, the other brain works more.
Yeah. You don't have
I
the
get
correct
that.
blood flow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what.
So he was thinking of the wrong head. But you know what? I mean, end of the day, I mean, he gets rid of Amber Heard. They settled, and now he gets another $1 million after they've already broken up. So none of that's hers. I think Johnny Depp kind of wins, and it's probably feels good for him to see the public outrage of him getting outed and Amber Heard still staying in. So I think that's going to change.
Well,
But-
I mean, when the whole thing was happening, his name got fucking ruined,
Yeah.
dude. He
Oh,
was
yeah.
fucked. It was absolutely fucked, and like nothing was confirmed or anything, but it was already just fucked. And so like,
yeah, well, a lot of things came out showing that it was the other way around. Really, that she's just
Yeah.
a fucking
Yeah.
nutcase. And like I said,
exactly.
none of us are there, so I don't want to assume that he didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
But
Well, the problem is, even if he didn't do anything wrong, the fact that that information was in a headline, people don't come back to check on the story later.
Yeah,
sometimes.
it's
They're
just like this guy's an
That's it.
asshole. I'm not doing anything related
Yep,
to him.
that's it.
And you're cut off and you're canceled.
That's
which is crazy because he
Fucking
is
wild.
an amazing
Yeah.
actor. I
Yeah.
mean,
super
yeah,
wild.
and like I said, if he really did do some really fucked up shit, then yeah, out that guy. That sucks. I don't care how good of an actor you are. But it really did. But it was very unclear and really showed that like what you said, Trent. It was kind of proven that he didn't really do anything
Yeah.
wrong. So, like now you're doing this unjust thing, and then like I thought all this was said and done too. So now to out of now, it's
Yeah,
so
like-
strange. It's out of the blue. Weird.
Maybe they just couldn't.
So I don't
They
know.
can't afford them for the
I don't
movies.
feel good about it. Yeah, I don't feel good about it, but Warner Brothers really fucking shot themselves in the foot because they lost a million, lost a great actor, and now there's so much public outrage about her being in the other movie. They're probably have to get rid of her and recast. It's gonna be a nightmare for them. They're like we say every time. I don't know who the fuck's running
Warner Bros.
fucking Warner Brothers, but you're an idiot. You need to get the guy who runs
Shut
Riot.
it down.
Yeah, shut it
Shut
down.
it down, dog.
You know what Riot should do? Riot should buy
You
Warner
thought
Brothers, 'cause those
you
guys
thought
got
you
brains.
thought your DC movies weren't performing well? Oh boy. Oh buddy.
Now you're just fucking over everything. You just fucked over Harry Potter, which is like a brain dead, like easy millions of dollars to make, and you just are ruining that now too. So, good job, Warner Brothers. Good job.
They're
So,
great so far.
yeah. So, what else we got going on? Let's see. Should we talk about some real sports and close this out?
Yeah.
Uh,
Let's
I think we should just give a shout out real quick to some big figures that have passed over the recent week.
Alex Trebek and
Alex
Sean
Trebek,
Connery.
Sean
yeah.
Connery.
Some legends.
It's
Alex
all-
Trebek's from Jeopardy. If you didn't know, you're living under a rock probably. But
If you don't know who
Well, so Alex Trebek was battling with pancreatic cancer, which is usually a death
Yeah.
sentence for a long time.
yeah,
And I heard, I mean, I read that like his last like few months or whatever, he just kind of was with his
Mhm.
family and stuff like that. So that's
I heard,
good.
yeah,
It
I heard he
sucks
passed
that-
his family around and
Yeah,
there's-
so that's good. It's still so sad, and cancer's a bitch, man. And Sean Connery, I think he just kind of died of old.
Yeah, he was
age
like
or-
90, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and still sad. I mean, such a great
Mhm.
actor. So we lost two great souls within like a week of each other, and it's super sad. Definitely shout outs to them, and they're amazing people, and I just kind of hope their families are doing
Yep.
okay.
yeah. I mean, it's like it's gotta be at least comforting for at least the families of like, especially of Alex Trebek. You know that he had such an impact on people
Mhm.
over the past like I don't know how long was he on
Like-
for like 30 years.
Yeah, a long time, dude. I
long
used to watch
time,
Jeopardy like after dinner. Like you'd eat at like 6:30, and then Jeopardy would come on,
Yeah,
and
it's
it's just
it's
like
something common. that a lot
watch
of
Jeopardy
people-
with your family and just
It's
Yeah.
it's It sucks that he's gone, but like I said, it's gotta be comforting to at least the family to know that he had such an impact on a lot of people.
Yeah, and that he doesn't have to like keep battling this fucking
Yeah.
shitty
Exactly.
cancer anymore. That's one of those like, yo, pancreatic cancer it's a nightmare, man. So
Yeah,
and
just want to give a shout out to that. Just paying
yeah.
respects.
Yep. All right then. Well, NBA thinking about starting the season, and
All
December.
right, yo, this is some big news because typically the way the NBA season goes, it typically starts in October and ends in the middle of June with the playoffs. But due to Corona, the NBA season was canceled in, I think, middle of March, and then they reopened with the bubble July 7th, which is after they're typically done playing. And then the bubble ended like a couple weeks ago on October 11th. So basically, players who would have normally had rest from June to October or November don't get that same rest. I mean, if you think about the teams who are in the finals, Miami and the Lakers, they basically had from October to December to rest, which is significant.
Which sucks for their families because that's a good time for them to see their families and hang out and just kind of like just chill and be a normal person. For a little
But
bit.
also, like, you think about older players like LeBron James, who typically have 3-4 months to rest. Now they have 2 months. While players who weren't invited to the bubble, which, starting from March, they would have had almost a 3/4 of a year to just sit and rest.
Fuck off and do
Yeah. So, pretty.
So like, is this confirmed? Are they starting the season?
So basically, because from what I heard, they could lose up to $1 billion if they don't have the Christmas Day games.
I mean, makes sense. Honestly,
That's what it is.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I feel for the players, but you work for a business. You're an employee technically, and that's kind of what it is. I feel sad that they can't get the full rest and be with their families and stuff like that. But coronavirus changed a lot of things of our lives, and this is one of them. And it's just a shitty year overall. And I think it's one of those things that you're just gonna have to. I mean, you're just gonna have to suck it up, and that's just what it is. Now, there's rumors that some players will just kind of take like a month off. Like LeBron said, he's not gonna play for the first month or two, which brings me back to the last point, but that you can leave fuck off for an entire third of the season and still go to the finals. So it's not that big of a deal. But then the issue is you're not having LeBron play. People may not want to watch the games because he's not playing. So it's a money thing too. So it's a lot kind of going on, and we'll just kind of see what happens. But
we're
talking
okay.
billions.
Yeah, they're projected to lose like a lot of money.
I mean, because that's coming up really soon. Is it like, do they have a decision? Or are they like?
It's like pretty much confirmed that they're starting sometime in December. So
yeah,
I mean, yeah, sucks for the players, but I do kind of agree. You are contracted. You're an athlete. You're under the organization.
So I'm really curious as to where they go and like in terms of ending. If they're just gonna shorten the season and then end like at the normal like June date and then restart like normally, or if they're gonna try to play a full 82 games and push it out further and move like the normal start date of the NBA.
Well, now with the crazy thing is we might be getting another quarantine mode, man. So who knows? I mean, that's going to decide a lot of shit too. So there's a lot of uncertainty in this just life right now.
Another quarantine lockdown, dude.
Yeah, because I think what Portland is doing, like a no travel. A couple other cities doing no travel stuff. I mean, Nevada, Sisolak just said stay at home. There's rumors that on Monday he's gonna issue some sort of lockdown.
Washington's governor, what's it called, insisted that people don't go.
Yeah, that's what Sisolak did. But I think the numbers are gonna keep going up because it's winter and that's just what's gonna happen. And
people are gonna visit their families and stuff.
And you're not locked down. I mean, so people are gonna travel. I mean, it's gonna happen. So we're just gonna see what happens. So, what else we got going on? I guess the biggest thing would be Izzy. Quick thing. The Bucks got destroyed by the Saints. Holy shit!
Oh yeah, what was it like?
Was it-
3 to like 40 something?
It was like 38-3 or something.
God.
And the Steelers are still 8-0, maybe 9-0 now. So, yeah, that's kind of what's going on in football. I don't really care about football right now. 'Cause
Let's talk about
Both
that,
my
Matt. Let's
fantasy
talk
teams
about that.
suck.
You get something off your chest?
No, man, I actually hope the Cowboys just keep losing, and even though they almost beat the Steelers,
Are
but
they still top of the division?
no, they're not.
Okay.
Who is it?
I hope we can talk about standings. So right now in the AFC East, which is where the Cowboys are, or NFC East,
Washington
sorry,
football team.
we got the Eagles are ahead with a 3-4-1
Yikes.
record. They're top of the division. Above Washington, which is 2-6-0,
God.
and the Cowboys and the Giants are both 2-7. This is by far the worst league or division ever. Not only ever, but it's kind
Like,
of been that way consistently.
Cumulatively the worst.
People always gave shit to the Patriots for winning and going to the the playoff stuff because they had like such a bad division. That division has probably been a lot stronger than the fucking NFC East for quite a while now. I mean the Eagles, the Giants, and Washington, they are just all four of the teams are trash.
Eagles were Super Bowl champions just a couple years ago, right?
Like 3 or 2.
Yeah, it's trash. It's East trash. Trash. But other than that, what else we got going on? Izzy. So Israel Adesanya, he is gonna go and try to get 2 belts. He is going to go up to the light heavyweight. And
I don't know who. Fuck, they just started fight. The light heavyweight just got determined because John Jones just vacated it. I can't remember who the fuck the champion.
The interim.
It is Jan Blachowicz.
Oh yeah, okay. No, I remember seeing that fight now. Yeah.
Yeah, he beat that Diego guy, I think, who actually gave John Jones a run for his money. We all watched that fight. But now Izzy's gonna come up and gain some weight and fight him, and it's pretty interesting. It would have been way cooler to watch that versus John Jones, but I personally think John Jones don't want none of that.
You think he's scared?
You think he's scared?
You think he's scared of ruining his record?
Yeah, I think so.
Because right now the only thing that's defending his record is that the fact that he hasn't fought like Izzy or, well, basically Izzy, and he's like, he barely survived. What's it called, the Reyes fight?
Yeah, he did.
I mean, John Jones pretty
Sus.
old, man.
Well,
I don't know.
sus.
Yeah, I was watching that fight, and when they gave it to John Jones, I was kind of like, okay, I could see the reasoning. I wasn't really upset about it, but like, it was close, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I will say that here's the thing: there is nothing stopping John Jones from saying, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna go down to stay at light heavyweight and fight Izzy, and it could not even be for a
Just
belt.
a fight.
It could just be Izzy versus John Jones, and they could go fucking at it. And
That would make so much money.
That would make
so
millions of
much
dollars.
money, dude.
I think John Jones is scared because
John
Izzy's
Jones
going up.
vacated.
John Jones could stay down, man.
Was it John Jones vacated that belt just like very, very recently? Within like the last like few months or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah,
And
so I mean,
like,
it's not like he could just
Whoa!
be like, you know what? Yeah, I think he's scared.
well, I mean, because like to go from light heavyweight to heavyweight. I mean, if he's gonna, I think he plans on staying in heavyweight. He doesn't plan on like jumping between divisions. So he's probably trying to pack on pounds like pretty effectively. And he's
but
already in that like.
These guys are masters of gaining and losing weight. It's only been a little bit since he decided to go up to heavyweight. He could. I mean, I'm sure Izzy'd be like, you want to come back and have an extra month or 2 to lose the weight to get back to me? Let's do it. I'm sure
Izzy would take
be
that
down.
fight.
Izzy's going up,
Well,
and John
promise.
Jones could stay. So,
Does he want both? Does he want both titles, or does he want the John Jones fight? Which one's
so
gonna
as
be
far
big,
as
right?
I know, all the interviews I've heard, Izzy wants to
Yeah,
fight
he wants to
best.
fight the best. I don't think he cares about titles as much, but
I'm sure he wants the
Bro.
belt. I'm sure it adds some sort of like,
The money of
Yeah.
the Izzy John Jones fight would be nuts.
it'd be stupid.
It'd be
Oh my God.
savage. It'd
Yeah.
be so insane.
Yeah, I think Izzy'd be down, man.
we just gotta come.
But maybe I'm wrong.
I would pay
John
to
Jones
watch
used to
that.
John Jones used to
Oh,
really
yeah.
be insanely dominant until
Yeah.
recently. He's like kind of skirted across his last few fights, and like he wins,
It's not.
but not like in a dominant fashion like he used to.
Yeah, no, I agree. So, that's pretty interesting. I think it would be cool to see Izzy. So Izzy is very tall and lanky, and I could definitely see him going to light heavyweight and be just as dominant. We'll see. I mean, you never know what happens. You pack on the weight, you're going to a different division, but I mean, I think he can definitely do it. I mean, he's a great fighter overall, very good fighting, intelligence, IQ, I guess, whatever you want to call it. And we'll see.
Very smart, yeah.
Yeah.
Very technical fighter.
Yeah. So, anything else, guys, before we wrap this up?
No.
Oh, thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for listening, guys. We will have a video up this time. Sorry for who didn't watch the video. All like 2 of you who got
What?
Yeah.
Watch the video.
That is Ray who does the editing and puts the videos on YouTube. So just remember that.
I don't know what you're talking about, dude. That was a
me.
group effort. I told you what was going down. You trolled yourself.
All right, guys. Take care. Peace.